Hello student, welcome to my channel Step by Step in Physical Education. I am your subject expert Dr. Ritika Bhatia. Today we will discuss the next few points of chapter 3 Yoga and Lifestyle Disease. In last video we discussed about the importance and meaning of yoga and asana. Now we will further proceed to different lifestyle disease which we can cure with the help of yoga. So let's start. First lifestyle disease which is related in your topic, that is obesity. So first we know that what is exactly the obesity, how you can define the obesity. So obesity is a medical condition in which excess body fat has accumulated to the extent that it may have an adverse effect on health. It is defined by body mass index and further evaluated in terms of fat distribution via the waist hip ratio and total cardiovascular risk factors. Means when in your daily lifestyle we don't do workout and our body mass index increased, which is higher than 30, it is diagnosed as obesity. Means excess accumulation of fat in our waist area, in our hip area, in our stomach area. Because of this, we feel the heaviness in our body, our size also increase, our body tissues also increase, adipose tissue in our bodies increase, which create the condition of obesity. How we can determine that how much body mass index we have? So to check your body mass index, we take weight in a kilogram and divide it by the height in meter square. So whatever height and weight you have, according to that, with the help of this formula, you can check your BMI, that you are at which level. You are undernourished, you are average, you are overweight, you are obese. Okay, so example, someone having a weight of 70 kg and height is 1.68 meter. Okay, then you will divide your weight, 70 kg weight, with the help of 1.68 square meter, and then whatever number you will get, according to that you will decide that at which range you are falling. So that will be your body mass index, and according to with the help of that body mass index you can assess that you are in which category line. Okay, then what are the symptoms of obesity? How you will know that someone have obese, he is overweight or obese or more than this? So there's a few points. First one is excessive sweating. Is any person having a obesity problem, he is overweight, more than overweight, then he will sweat very much. Normal sweating is very low sweating or a little bit sweating in daily routine while we are working or some doing any work, then it is very normal. But when you have a excess sweating than normal, then it is a symptoms of obesity, means your BMI is going to higher level and you have to check on it. Then double chin. Double chin means when your weight is increased, then part of different part of your body in size also increase. Means your stomach, your waist, your hip size, your inches also increase. So in that way, the some fat also accumulated on your face also, which is result in double chin. Next point is excess fat deposition in abdomen and waist. Means I told you that when somebody gets the overweight or obese, have a high risk, have a high weight, then the fat deposit in the abdomen and waist area, which increase in the increase inches in your body size also. Breathlessness. Breathlessness means shortening of breath. Means whenever we do any activity, we do some workout, physical activity, we move on stairs and all these, then we get the shortening of breath. We exhaust with the normal breathing process. So it is the symptom of obesity also. feeling tired after any physical activity, means whatever work we do in daily routine, after that work, or if we do any physical activity, means we do jogging and all these, so if we get more sweating and tired easily, we get feel fatigued after a few minutes of exercise, in 5 to 10 minutes we get fatigued, then it is also the symptoms of obesity, that your weight is going on a upper side and you have to check on that. Okay, now what are the causes and consequences of obesity? So how you can know that in last slide we checked that what are the symptoms, how we can know that if someone is going on obese size more than the oversize, then that were the symptoms. Now if someone have in obese category, then what will be the causes, what are the reasons that someone goes in obesity category, and what are the complications if individuals have obese, what complications he will get. So causes: eating too much, genetic, certain medications, stress, poor sleep, hormonal imbalancing. Now I further explain all these one by one. Eating too much: if someone having a habit of eating too much, in daily routine we munch in few hours, but if someone have a habit of this munching, frequently munching, after few very in a very short time, means after 10 to 20 minutes you frequently eat something, and especially that is a high calorie food or fried food or junk food and all this, then what will be the consequences? You will go on a obesity category, then your weight will increase, the further other disease also can increase in your body, which leads to stress, which leads to hormonal imbalancing, which lead to poor sleeps and all this. Sometimes some people take the medication for any reason, then because of this also our weight get increased, because medications give the side effects, the fat tissues, adipose tissues also affected with these medications, so person get in a obese or overweight category. Then poor sleeps: in our daily routine life we have a very hectic schedule, because of this hectic schedule we are unable to take a proper and sound sleep, so because of this our weight also can increase. Hormonal imbalancing: in the lacking of sleep and in the lacking of balance and nutritive diet also in our body, our hormone balancing get disturbed. So when hormones get disturbed, so it also affect in our body internal system, our digestive system, our metabolism system, our pancreatic system and all these, so which result in obesity. Stress: person who takes so much stress for any reason, because of work pressure, because of family problems, whatever reason, if we take so much stress, then it also causes to the obesity, because it simultaneously affect our sleep, affect our diet, affect our hunger and all these activities and all these. So obesity can lead also through the stress. The next cause is genetic, because of in your family root, people in your family having a history of obese body, then you can also get a genetic of fat tissues in your body, so you can also obese from by birth or after some time also. Now what are the consequences when you have in a obesity category, though what problems or complications you can get in your day-to-day life? These are heart disease, diabetes, kidney disease, fatty liver, cancer and high blood pressure. When person having in a category of overweight or obese category, then our internal organs also get pressure, and due to this pressure body goes in a deforming condition. So because of this our heart get blockage, artery gets blockage, blood flow get slow, oxygen process in our body gets slow, because of which there are numerous problems arise in our body. Our liver can get fatty because of regular frequent uses of junk food and fast food. Our blood cells create less insulin and glucose in our body, which leads to diabetes. Then our renal nerves or our kidney get damaged and defected because of obesity, because of the more pressure or on the internal organ, so which leads to high BP also and cancer problem sometimes also. So friends, you can see that how much serious problem is this. If we don't control our weight, we don't control our diet, we don't control our different daily routine pattern, then it leads a very serious problem in our life. So how we can cure obesity? So there is a few asanas with the help of which we can cure this problem at some extent. Here I have described only two asanas. So first one is Vajrasana, how it can cure the obesity. So let's check it. What is Vajrasana? Basically, it is a meditative asana. So when you do this asana, it is the only asana which you can do after the taking your food, because in this, with the help of this asana, your digestive system get more pressure, with the help of which your pancreatic, your metabolism system get more blood and more working pressure, so your food get digest easily. So how you can perform this asana? Kneel down on the ground with your knees, ankle and toes touching the ground. Your toes should be stretched backwards. Place your palm of both hands on the knees. Upper body should be straight and the breathing should be deep and slow. So what are the benefits with this asana? It is helpful for concentration. It is meditative asana. So when we do this asana, our more focus will be on our breathing, that how deep and slow we are breathing. So it effective, then only it will affect on metabolism and digestive system. So also helpful in the concentration, helpful in curing dysentery, back pain and chest disease, enhance the memory and cure problem related to menstrual problem also. Then what are the contraindication? That in which condition the person should not do this asana? Then first one is person suffering from joint pain, because in this asana we have to sit with the knees bent down. Then if person having any joint pain or arthritis problem, so he or she cannot sit in a very frequent in this position. Individual having a spinal column problem can't do this asana. When we have to sit in this position, so spine should be straight, so it also give pressure on spine and knees also. So knee problem and spine problem, those having, they should not perform this asanas. Our next asana is Padhasta asana. Padhasta asana means when our upper body touch our lower body. We bend our upper body to touch our lower body. So what are the procedure of this asana? Bend forward until the fingers or palm of the hands touch the floor on either side of the feet. Try to touch the knees with the forehead, but don't strain. If you having a good flexibility, then you will easily touch your forehead with your knees. But if you don't have a good flexibility, then don't pressure your body. Slowly do this asana. Keep your knees straight. Exhale while bending forward. Try to contract the abdomen in the final position to expel the maximum amount of air from the lungs. Okay. Now what are the benefits? Makes our body flexible, stretches the leg and back muscles, helps to eliminate excess belly fat, because why we bend forward, then it put pressure on digestive system, on abdomens also, which will help in the elimination of belly fat. Makes the spine flexible and tone the nerves. Back also get flexible because we have to bend forward. Our thighs muscle gets strong and flexible. Our calf muscle get strong and flexible. What are the contraindication? In which condition the person don't have to do this asana? Who having a back pain, don't try to bend fully. If you having a back pain, go as much as comfortably you can go. Okay friend, so today we discuss only this. In next video we will discuss about the next lifestyle disease. So thank you for the further.